Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are writing a GUI framework. We are on day 2, and the reason that we want to do this is because we are working on an image editor. And you might say, that doesn't really answer the question, and I would say, shut up. So this is our image editor. We have ability to like draw pictures in this thing. Smile, right? We have the ability to like generate custom assets with like shaders, so we can go like, here is a circle, and I can change the color of them and stuff. And we can like composite those things together into here. We can go like, give me the give me the shader and give me the drawing, right? We can like put these things together, whatever, right? We have like kind of UI widgets provided by IMGUI. If you've ever used IMGUI, you will see this and immediately recognize it, right? And we kind of put in IMGUI as like a placeholder with the intent of eventually replacing it with something. I think I have like ideas for what I want my UI to look like, and I don't want to be restricted by what a GUI framework provides us. And I also get annoyed every time I use any GUI framework because it doesn't give me what I want. And so I've also kind of noticed recently that genericism in programming creates a lot of complexity. And my suspicion is that getting something that's at least as good as IMGUI is not very hard. That's my suspicion. And so that's what we're exploring is like, can we make a GUI framework that's tailored to our own specific use case and have it be not that much code? That's what we're looking at. And so we have spawned our little GUI test app right here. It spawns kind of slow because we're shit at stuff, but we have a few widgets rendered on the screen. We can like figure out when we click on these things and have some state associated with them. We have like the world's worst text rendering here in the corner. We haven't really figured out yet. We wrote like a font renderer, and we haven't quite got to the point where we can lay things out reasonably. We're literally just taking like the bounding box of each letter and being like, it must go there. It must the bounding box must sit next to the other bounding box, which is clearly wrong, which also makes for some like funny text. But we do have something, right? Enough that we could start experimenting with trying to make like labels and buttons and stuff. So we have been following kind of the pattern of immediate mode GUIs, where each frame we say, look, laying out widgets is not that expensive, right? We can do that every frame. There are reasons why we might not want to do that every frame that we might tackle in the future, but as of right now, we go, okay, we will lay these things out. What happens is we have like support for it now for a rectangle, a triangle, and a label. These are custom widgets that return an instance of a widget. A widget is something that's like basically like if you haven't used Zig before or like C that much for like runtime inheritance, the typical pattern is that you provide some sort of vtable, which is just a bunch of function pointers, and then we also provide our object as like just a pointer, a type erased pointer, essentially, right? But this is you can think of it like an interface. So every time we create a widget, he just makes an interface. This interface says, hey, I might provide you some action, and our action right now just says like, when I click on this thing, tell me to change something. So our application holds some state. UI says, could you change the color at this index? And we go, okay. And basically when we create our rectangle, we just say, okay, tell me to change the color of this guy later. If somebody clicks you, tell me to do this, right? And that's what we got so far. We have a widget, like a widget type that is laid out in a layout. The layout is like basically just a cursor that says, where am I on the screen? You can like look at this place on the screen, and here is a list of widgets, and then all the, like this layout does is when he calls render, he just like rips through all the widgets and renders each of them individually, prefixing them with saying, okay, here's your OpenGL viewport space. Basically, render anything you want in the range of -1 to 1, and we will take that and put it somewhere. So that's where we got to yesterday. It's looking somewhat reasonable. I think that we're gonna have to do a little bit of work on the layout stuff, and I'm a little bit worried about stuff that's like I'm worried a little bit about like composition of objects in this flow, right? If we have, if we want to make a button, and in the button we have like text, right? With the current flow where we say render your thing in the world of -1 to 1, we cannot make this button out of a text in a rectangle, which might be kind of nice for us to be able to do. So I think that's probably going to be like the first thing is we will let widgets decide where they want to render within the screen. I think that's fine, and they can just do that however they want. And if they lie and cheat and fuck up our whole screen, well, fuck it. You know, there are widgets, so we can fix it. So I think that we will look at that, and then we will, yeah, well, let's just start by trying to render a button. I think I'm also worried about like these like floating point drag value things that we have in our application here. Like these I really like, where like, you know, you can just kind of drag this along. If my mouse is kind of like over here and I'm still affecting the value, then there must be some form of like uh interframe dependency that we haven't really hit yet. And so I think that we're gonna try to like tackle that as well, probably by stashing layout somewhere. But we'll see. We'll see. So let's just kind of jump in. Let's try to make a button and then just figure out what happens from there. Is it in the scope of API to support button changes color when clicked on does something? Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think the scope of the UI framework is just to implement whatever we need for our application. Which, you know, we can kind of implement however we want, which is kind of nice. We'll just see how it goes. Okay. So if we want to be able to render a button as a composition of a rectangle and a label being stacked on top of each other, it means that our coordinate system needs to support that, right? So if we have like const button is a struct, right? And inside the button, we're like rect is a rect. I guess maybe he's just a widget, to be honest. Maybe. Sure. So here we'll say that our if our widget needs to like return some state, like a UI action like this, that means that our button also needs to say, hey, if you have some like thing you want me to do, then you have to tell me about it, which means that this has to be a function that takes in a comp time type of action type, which is a type, and this will return a type. This is the way in Zig that you do generic programming. You just write a function that returns a type. Wow, fancy. Okay, so he's gonna have like a rectangle inside him, as well as a label. Right, that's kind of like the way we want to move this thing. And so on initialization, we're going to have to create whatever we want it for both the label and the button. Right, so I guess we're gonna have to basically take in all of the inputs for the label as well as all the inputs for a rectangle. Now the rectangle, I think, takes in a width and a height. Maybe our rectangle width and height is derived from the size of the text that we render. That seems pretty reasonable. So let's see here. Rect equals function rect. Is that what we did? Yeah, here we go. So here he takes in a width and height and a color and a click action. Okay, sure. So we'll do that. I'm actually looking at this and I'm thinking like the rectangle is essentially just the button type. So I think that we might kind of just act the same way as the rectangle, and I don't know, we'll figure it out. Re-implementing rectangle might seem more reasonable because that rectangle was kind of like a test type. So maybe it actually makes more sense for rectangle to be just copied to button, and we'll eventually like delete that rect type probably. I don't think it's gonna stay there forever. Okay, so button. He's got a click action and a color. That seems reasonable. This bounding box makes sense as well, and then he's also gonna have the label inside. That's what we said, label. Then this thing will take in whatever the label type initialization parameters were. And I think that the action type is hard-coded as part of our storage now, so we don't need this. And we take in the cursor, we take in a text renderer, we take in some text, we take in a font file, we take in a distance field generator. That's a lot of shit, but we do use it all. And I guess here we'll just say that our like label is a label initialized with our action type, as well as whatever the fuck, I guess literally all of our stuff. Text renderer, text, TTF, distance field renderer. Okay, so what's kind of weird here is like he expects a cursor because he's gonna like move the cursor when we like based off of his size. So I guess if we want to like pad either side of this thing, I think that we have to like pass in a cursor that has like 0, 0. We feed him that cursor, And then we adjust the outer cursor with the changes that he made, right? So we say like x, we say like cursor plus equals inner cursor x. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Then we do like plus padding here, right? So let's say that we have like 5 pixels of padding. Maybe. Maybe. This will probably like fix me, apply some global style will probably be how we adjust this thing. And then I think that it's likely that in the future our cursor will not be like hand modified by every widget, right? When we do like horizontal layout, now like does every widget need to know if it's being laid out horizontally or vertically? Like that doesn't make sense. So we are going to have to change that later, but we will take that as it comes. Okay, so then our bounding box, I guess, is just like this shit, right? So we're gonna start with our left side is what the cursor fed us, right top is what they fed us, right is going to be this plus, I guess we need to like define the width and height here. Boom, I guess. Seems kind of fucked. All of this does not seem good. Then this is plus equals width and height. Okay. So then we define ourselves. So this is button now, not rect. So we need to do like button is going to be some sort of like allocation of ourselves. Okay. Which we actually need a type for, which we have. Nice. This is going to be create a self thing. Okay. Which means that we probably need like an error defer label dnit here. Which is called like kind of like this. Which is kind of fucking weird. This thing would be like tried. And then what's the other thing? The allocator here. Sure. Wait, does label not need an allocator? He does. So this is gonna be like this. Yeah, I don't really like all of this, to be honest. Well, we need our action here. So on click, what are we gonna do? When we stash that shit, and we need a color for the button. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. And then our context here is a button. Okay, on D init. bbox is bbox here. And on D init, we do this. We cast ourselves and destroy, seems reasonable. On input, we check if we are in the bounds, and then we click ourselves. Sure. Get bounds returns our bbox. Click, we return the click action, and then on render, we render the button. Yeah, okay. That's like, that might work. I don't know. Let's see. So let's like remove one of these triangles. And maybe we'll say like we have a button. And this is going to look very similar to this label in it, I guess. But it's going to have a few more parameters. So here we're going to have the color of the button as well as the click action. So on the click action, we'll do UI action. We'll do none for now. And then we'll do red equals 1.0, GB, etc. Okay. Let's just kind of see how that feels. Fuck. Right, because this button needs to be a button of with UI action. Right? We need to specify. You're gonna write down a UI action. You need to know how big that motherfucker is. Padding here is mad, probably because this needs to be like an integer, not a float. Probably. Okay, and then missing field label at 543. Label is label. And that kind of indicates that our dnit needs to say like self-label dnit, probably. It's actually more like label dnit self label context and Alec. Ugh. It's pretty gross as well. Pretty gross as well. Expected this on that, right? Because the label is not a label, actually. The label is a widget. Okay. And then down here, we actually have to call, after we clear, we need to call like self label render as well. Okay. That's the wrong app. We do want to build and run our GUI. Okay. Looks like shit. Looks like shit. So this should say like hello. First of all. Dude, that looks bad. So it looks to me just kind of hand wavy, like it's really squished. It's also weird that I'm not seeing our color applied, which is kind of surprising. I would like to kind of take a look at this. So our cursor here could be kind of fucked up. Can we just say that instead of this, can we just make it like, 100 by 100? Let's just start there. Okay, so if we do 100 by 100, we at least get the text in there. Where the fuck is our clear color? I guess here we are supposed to be applying RGBA. What happens if I do one? Oh, I think that, or we might have accidentally removed the alpha blending of here. No. Did we forget to turn on alpha blending? No. So why the fuck? If I just do like clear me at 1.0 on render, do I see anything there? No, it's still black behind. What if we turn off the label rendering? Literally just like make the area of my widget white. Okay, that works. Very interesting. Very interesting. So if that works, why does this not do what I want, right? Is it like we're passing in RGBA? Can we print the color here? Or have we accidentally got some invalid memory? Self color. Like, we might have fucked someone up here for sure. It's a definite possibility. Oh, wait, this is working fine. Okay. I thought it wasn't. What if we label, maybe it's because we were rendering the label on top? Yeah, so here's probably our problem. But our text render here is supposed to basically alpha blend this shit. And I'm pretty sure, like, I remember setting the alpha stuff on here. We set that up kind of early before we do any rendering. So what's the problem? What is the problem? Oh, is it possible that in our label render, we do something stupid like clear the background to black? That is pretty fucking stupid. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. There we go. That's a little better. And then now let's go back to trying to size ourselves appropriately. Right, so somewhere we just typed 100 a couple times. That would have been here somewhere. So can we just do like cursor.x plus width, cursor.y plus height. Okay, so now we're back to being like really squished, specifically in X, which is pretty odd. Can we look at like the inner cursor? Let's just like see what the fuck that's doing, because like clearly it's stupid, but like, yeah, X0. Oh. Oh, because he doesn't fucking. He moves the cursor. But that is not the size of the thing. We actually want to call a label get bounds, right? And this will give us a box in pixel space. Um, Gross. Okay, sure. I think that it's likely that we're gonna change this. I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea that like we're storing in each widget our like hard coded layout like position. And I don't like that we're the ones in charge of like moving the cursor. I just don't like any of that. I think that what I want is I want the widget to say how big he wants to be, and the layout system should like tell us later what size we actually are. Yeah. So maybe like get bounds here should be like instead we should like say how big we want to be. So like get size, right? Or get like desired size or something. Um and then we can as like the layouter when we call render instead of passing in like just ourselves, we can pass in like what we resolved as. Yeah. That seems reasonable. And then if we do that, we can say like because this might also solve the label rendering issue. So hold on, let's finish rendering the label first, the way we have it, and then we can kind of see where that's painful. So can we add like a width and height on here? Calc, we would say width bucket. Uh, Return self right minus self left, and our height is bottom minus top, I think. Bottom minus top. Fine, I'll call it calc height and calc width just so that it's clear that these are like functions that do stuff. So here we say this is label bbox calc width and calc height. Okay, like this. Fuck. Plus padding on both. Why is this cackle calc? There we go. Okay, so now we have that like hello rendered in here. Can we like up the font size so that you guys can see? That'll make our lives a little easier. That'll make our lives a little easier. Right, so now we have like the button, but like remember that we added padding to the width and height of this thing, and it's just like not respecting it, right? Because like the label inside thinks that he's allowed to render within the entire world, which is just not true. He's a fucking liar, right? This is bad too, by the way. It's the button. The button's moving the X position. Right. This should just be like this. So I think all of this gets solved if we just are provided where we're allowed to render. So in render, maybe we provide a pixel bbox. Does that make sense? I think it does. So we say, could you render here? And that makes sense. Yeah, sure. And then when we initialize ourselves, I'm going to delete the rectangle, I think. I think we don't need it anymore. I think the button is essentially going to replace the use of the rectangle. And really this triangle can go away. I don't want to maintain them, but like deleting them is kind of a waste. Maybe we'll just kind of comment them out for now. Right, because as I change the interface, like the more widgets that we have implemented, the harder it's going to be. So I think we just delete the rectangles. And then now we only have to worry about label and button. And then on label, we are going to pass in. Where is it? Label. Here we go. So here he's going to take in the bounds. And here, I guess we will just this is in pixels. It would be nice to have like the window size too here, because then we don't actually have to do any like GL viewport shenanigans. If we have like the window size, we can calculate where our thing should be in like OpenGL space, which is kind of nice. Right? So we could do something like this, where we're taking this and that, and then we can be like, we do some transform where we go like bounds. I guess we probably want like the center as well. We probably want to be able to calculate those. Right. So the center X position is just like self left plus self right divided by 2. Return this and return top and bottom. Yeah, so now if we have like, we need to like calculate our scale first, I guess. So our, we scale ourselves such that the window height, we do floating point window height. We want our height, right, over the window height as the Y scale, and the Rx over the window X as the X scale. Times 2, because OpenGL space is 2 times that. Then we want to position ourselves such that our center is offset by something over the window width. Right? It's going to be something like this. So we have like the bounds CX is offset by. Okay, hold on. We need to draw some stuff. So this is like 0, 0. We want to go like over here. So if this is like 600 pixels, we're gonna have like, this is gonna be like 100, right? So we're basically trying to go like, if this is like 300, we're trying to find like our distance from this over that. Yeah. So we want to go like bounds center X minus the window center X absolute valued over window center X. Yeah. I think that's right. This isn't absolute value, actually. Probably float from it, though. This is nasty. But I think this is right. I think this is right. So can we do, like, slap a little, like, clip widget to clip scale takes in a val as a I32, max as an I32, and returns an F32. And that's basically this, right? So we're going to be like, val f is an F32 of this. Boom. We have the max f is F32 of that. Float from int. When are you going to do some Java? Probably never, to be honest. Probably never. Okay. So this is widget to clip scale. And this is going to be, I guess, like, this is kind of more specific than this. This is like, anything that says val in here is like widget width, widget size, and then max is like window size. There we go. And this is now widget size and window size like this. Okay. And now we can do like widget to clip scale of bounds calc width over window calc width. Nice. And height and height. And then we're also going to have widget to clip offs, widget to clip position, widget to clip center. So we'll take the widget center and the window center. So we have window center F is a little window center like this. Window widget center F comes from the widget center. And then this is this is wrong. We want this. So we want the window center subtracted from the bounds widget center, right? Divided by the window center. And then all these need to be like little Fs. Womp, womp, womp. Is that what we said? So, right, so this is if we have like 100 pixels in from 300 pixel center, 100 minus 300 is negative 200. Over 300 is negative 2/3, which I think is right. Pretty sure that's right. So then we do something else. This is a lin transform translation of widget to clip center, bound cx, window cx, and we do the same thing with y. Boom. Yeah, that seems pretty cool. So this is our transform, transform. And then we slap the transform here. Okay. So that fixes the label. We said we were gonna like ditch the rectangles and the triangles for now. And then we can just try to make our button. So let's start with just drawing our label first. Let's see if we only do labels. If we're fuck. 625. We do need to fix the v table here, huh? So our v table now said we said on render we're gonna give it the widget bounds and the window bounds. That's what we said. Okay. We do need to return the value that we want to return. It's true. And then on 404, now we need to figure out how to pass those things in. So our widget, I guess for now, we're going to be like self widget. We're just going to call get bounds on this thing because he's holding its bounds, you know, for now. And then we need like window bounds. So window bounds. Pixel vbox, window bounds. And I guess really we should pass in the pixel bounds here too to mirror. Widget bound, sorry. And then whoever calls this now is in trouble, who is in here. So here we're like, give me the widget bounds of widget get bounds. Oh, we actually have that right here already. Sick. And then we just need the window bounds, which are going to come from window width, I guess. So left equals 0, bottom equals 0, right is equal to window width, and top is equal to window height. Is that in the right order? I think we want the other way. I think we want top is 0 and bottom is window height. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. We might be upside down. We might be upside down. But that's okay. We'll figure that out. Int cast width. Okay. Let's just see if this does like something sane. Okay. Not quite. Huh? Not quite. So he is upright, which is good. Okay, what's going on there? Label. Label, label, label. So why is he like not? Oh, because the center here. Okay, hold on. When we lay out our label, we want to be coming from the top down. First of all, him showing up in the bottom left is concerning. Can we like log just like widget bounds? Like, let's just see what the fuck we get and the window bounds. Let's just see how, if this is like fucked up in any way, shape, or form. Right. That'll give us a clue. That will give us a clue. Okay. So widget bounds. We start the left 0, right 327, top 0, bottom 76. Okay, so that's like kind of reasonable. Window is 640 by 480. Okay. I mean, we could have done this wrong. Let's like not translate it all, right? If we don't translate it, how are we looking? Then we should expect to see it just like kind of centered in the window. Which we are. And we're also seeing him kind of scaled. It could be coincidence the size was full. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be, right? So here we have left to right is 327, which is approximately half of 640. But we're getting like the full width here, which means our scale is 2 times too big. Which I'm surprised by. Because widget size over window size? Oh, the 2.0? No, because like 2.0 is the width of the window in pixels. We are only doing one GL viewport ever, and it's setting it to the size of the window. Why is this 2.0 not right? If we have like 640 or like 600, we'll say, right? And we want to draw a widget that's 600. This thing should have a width of 2, right? Because in OpenGL space, this is a -1 to 1. Right? So us being like widget size over window size times 2 seems reasonable to me. Like our widget size here, bounds over, yeah, it's like, is this wrong? Transform. So we're expecting a scale here of 0.5, right? We're trying to go from like fill the fucking world to half the fucking world. That's what we're expecting to see here. Yeah, actually be part of implementing an image editor is implementing a GUI framework. Yeah, exactly. So here we're seeing 1.0 for the X scale. Right, that seems wrong. Because we have a width of 300. Oh, I guess by the math. Oh, wait, no, yeah, that seems right to me. 1.0. Oh, but we're scaling from a full width element. Right, so our default coordinate system, our like default render is to fill space, i.e. 2.0 width. So if we're trying to scale a thing that's filled, we need to not apply the 2.0. The 2.0 is kind of like implicitly there already. Fuck me. That's tricky. Tricky. Okay, that makes more sense. Aha. Okay. So now can we add back in the translation? This is kind of like this, I think. Maybe like this. Yeah, there we go. So now we should see the thing kind of like positioned, I guess, in the bottom left. Yeah, so now he kind of lines up with the bottom left perfectly. So let's try slapping like 3 labels on here, right? We just do this like 3 times. 2, I guess we can just do like 4, 0 to 3. We should see the word triangle stacked on top of itself 3 times. Nice, okay. Now, what's odd is the fact that it's going from the bottom. And so that's because our coordinate system is flipped in Y. Yeah, so in our label, when we swap from our position in window space to an OpenGL coordinate, we have to do like widget to clip center X. I guess we'll just do this in Y. Window max. We just have to do it this way. And so here it's like I guess we can just do 1.0 minus. We don't have to know the window max size here. And so this is just X and Y now. I wonder if this feels like the type of shit that's going to come up a lot, but we'll see. Fuck. I really thought that would work. Why does that not work? So I'll just take out this 1.0 again, and everything should go back to the way it was before. So if we are getting negative 1.0 now, and we're like, I want positive 1.0, 1.0 minus negative 1.0 does give us 2. So it's actually just negative this. I think that's more correct. There we go. Okay, let's put some numbers in our text so that we can actually tell what the fuck is going on. So can we do like std debug var? We have some buffer that we can print into, right? There's gonna be like, you know, some UI8s, and we're gonna be like std debug. Nope, format buff print into this buffer with this string, hello number. And we'll put an underscore there because an underscore will render as a thing with a width because we don't support any spaces yet. But an underscore is a lot like a space. And we'll say this is label, like text is this, and then the text goes in here. Fuck! It never fucking works. I never get right. Okay, let's try it again. What happens if you put a character like fire? It'll fall the fuck over for sure. Oh, this is funny. Why is there... What's happening here? Oh, because I put a \n, I see. Well, that's kind of comforting that the \n shows the empty glyph box. Okay, cool. So we're back to labels working, and now these labels are rendering with the knowledge of where they are laid out in like the entire world, which is nice. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted I guess we maybe don't even need the cursor here anymore, right? Because now we want to say, instead of get bbox, we want to say like get me the size. Which I guess we'll get like saying pixel bbox everywhere. We're kind of like abusing this thing. We kind of want like this like pixel size, I guess. And all we have here is a width, 532, and height, 532. I guess these are technically going to be U32s. I guess. And so now we'll say that this thing has like a size. Which means that the cursor doesn't have to come in here at all. The cursor shouldn't come into play at all. All we should have is like size is width and height. Okay, like this. And it's just kind of like this, I think. No cursor to worry about. And then when we do label init, fuck the cursor. So now how does he get a position though? It means that when we push the widget, we need to ask for the size. So it's no longer get bounds. It's get size. And this is going to be a pixel size, okay? Okay. So we're going to be like, oops, he's still mad. Why? Because I think get size also needs to be done here. Okay. There is some more get bounds kind of kicking around, which is a little concerning. But we'll kind of tackle that as we need to. So this is now get size here. When we ask the label has a get size function, not a get bounds function, which returns self size like this. Okay. And then surely people are going to start bitching and moaning. Okay, yeah, so this is at 6:30. He's like, yo. Actually, I don't know why he's mad, to be honest. Oh, maybe get size returns the wrong thing. Yeah, that's probably part of it. Expected this, so this is at 400 as well. We've got some types to fix. Value ignored at 495. Okay, and so here is where we need to like, basically instead of storing the widgets, we need to store like the widgets with their positions, right? So we need to be like layout item, the structure. He's going to have a widget that is this thing, right? But he's also going to have a bounds, which is a pixel b box. And now the layout actually could totally choose to lay things out however he fucking wants. Bottom to top, left to right, whatever, as long as he can like ask this thing for where it's supposed to be. So oops, this has to be a layout item here. Okay. And I guess items is the word to use here. So when we append this thing, we're gonna be like, the bounds come from basically like the current cursor position, x plus size width, right? I guess it's literally just like left is cursor x, right is x plus width. No, yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. What is he pissed about? Oh, I see. Pixel ions here. Pixel B-box? Yeah, there we go. Nice. Top is the cursor Y? Yeah, because we're going top to bottom. Is Y plus the height. And then this thing gets appended like this, right? And then surely we have to like change the cursor. So it's like this, I guess. And now, actually, if we wanted to put padding between elements, we could do that here too, which is pretty fucking sick. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay. I guess technically, if this thing fails for whatever reason, we should undo this, right? Oops, size.height. Right, just if we're gonna be good citizens, good error handlers, etc. And then now everyone else is gonna be like fucking pissed. So when we dispatch input, this is now widgets. This is now self items. So from self items, we pull an item. Item bounds is gonna be used here instead of widget bounds here. So this is item bounds. Boom, 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 boom. Widget is from item widget now, and item widget here. Okay, and then here this is self items, we get an item. It's so stupid. Item widget render with item bounds, and then our pixel bounds. Our window bounds like this. Okay, we're close. I13, U32. Fuck you, man. Fucking types, man. What? Why doesn't this work? I think if we just make this U31, it kind of like auto casts there, which is kind of nice. So we'll do that for now. I'm sure that will come back to bite us later, but shut the fuck up, you know? No field name widgets. This is now items. That's true. And there's another one at 402. No, I typed wrong. 492. Item. Item widget dnit. Is that all we have to do here? Probably, yeah. All right. So everything is still working, which I guess is all we were hoping to see. What did we even change here? The bounds are now calculated by the layout. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So if we wanted to add padding now, just like theoretically, we could do like plus padding here. And we could do like const padding is equal to 5.0, right? Or just 5. And then we should see that like each widget ends up with some stuff between it. Which I do think we're seeing, but 5 pixels is very small. So if we did like 50, it would become more exaggerated and obvious. Two Bob being like commit. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Nice, 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 nice. Nice. Okay. So I'm not going to do that right now, but we will keep that in the back pocket for later. You are right, though. GUI, checkpoint, smile. All right. So now let's bring back the button. Right? We need to bring back the button. And now the button should be able to correctly position the label inside, I think. Right? Because we're going to get like the bounds of the box, of the button passed in, and then we can offset the label inside that thing. I think that should work. So this is the widget size, which again, we should probably support at some point like a desired size, but maybe that won't come up, right? I think that there are cases where that would be nice, but maybe we won't hit them. That seems possible. Okay, so our get size now on the button returns a pixel size. Here we return self size. The action stuff is still the same. Then on render, I guess we're gonna call like gl skizzer. This is gonna take in like bounds in window. So we're just gonna like scissor ourselves to fix that, right? So we're gonna be like 0.000 bounds right, bounds, I guess it's bounds calc width and bounds calc height here. And this is gonna be bounds left and bounds bottom, I think, because we're in OpenGL coordinate space. Don't hardcode zeros. Don't fucking tell me what to do. But you're also right. But also, fuck you. You're not my boss. You don't get to tell me what to do. Okay. Then we just clear with our color. And do we need the window thing here? I think we don't use... If we work in this space, then we probably don't need that. But we'll figure that out soon. We'll scratch the label for now. We'll come back to that. And cursor now, I think we've decided probably doesn't need to be used here either. Desired preferred default styles are all existentially canonical, arguably. Yeah, I agree. We don't need to log cursor anymore. This is no longer get bounds, this is get size. So we'll call this the label size. And so our size are just like the label size plus our padding. Now, which seems pretty reasonable. Left, we don't have our B-box anymore. We're just like our size, the pixel size of width equal width. And really in here, like, why are we doubling up? We can just do this. Boom, 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 boom. And then we don't need this anymore. This is size. Okay, and then we don't deal with the cursor anymore. Our dinit looks probably the same still. Input is probably all of the same still. Ooh, that's interesting. So before we were using our pixel position here. So maybe on input, we pass in our bounds and their bounds. Yeah. Why is this function called input? What is this even for? This isn't used, so delete it. What the fuck are we doing? Click, I think, was taking in the window position. This should either, like, we can change these to be like offsets from the bottom, top left. I think probably makes sense. Probably. So we can always come back to this if we need it. Okay, let's try making a button and just kind of see what happens. That's not good. So here what happens is we scissor in viewport and then like don't fix it, which is kind of funny. So I guess we need like a GL, we need to like undo. So we need to like I think we actually kind of have something right like this, but I guess we'll just do this. 0 0 or window left, window bottom, bounds, calc width, bounds, calc height. This is not where this belongs, by the way. Fix me. This should restore previous viewport, not hard code window. But we can do what we want for now. So we'll make it work. Okay, so this is good, except the button seems to be kind of in the wrong spot. Also, yeah, I would expect the button to come from like the top, right? Which makes me think that like the bounds calculated for this thing are wrong. Right? Like, unless GL's... do I have like a window open that I can Google stuff in? Surely one of these like 40 windows, yeah. GL viewport. Lower left corner, yeah. So we should be using the bottom here. I guess that means that whoever laid us out is confused. When we push this thing. Oh. Yeah. That is wrong. That is wrong. We should be inverting our Y here. Which means that here we need like the window size. We need like window size height minus this. For both Y values. Y bottom of this thing is the height minus the top left minus the height. Yeah, yeah. Which means that this probably fucks up the label stuff, would be my guess. Okay, so here we have like pixel size of width equals width, height equals height. Okay, let's just see what happens. Fuck. We'll see. Yes, here. I don't really give a shit right now. I do not give a shit right now. Okay, let's just see. So now the button, I bet the button will be in the right spot, but the text won't. It's even fucking weirder. Even fucking weirder. Why is the button filling the whole screen now? What in the fuck? There's so much wrong. Okay, so the text stuff I think is easily fixable. Right? So that's we were swapping the height before, and now surprisingly we shouldn't. I'm a little confused about why we don't want to do this. Let's think about this. So we Well, actually, can I look at it again? Where was it? How upside down was it? Yeah, so it's 0, 1, 2. We're literally going from the bottom to the top, which means that this shouldn't be inverted. But I don't really understand why. I have so many. Yeah, I'm actually quite confused about this. I'm quite confused. So we get. Can we log the pixel bounds here again? We have the label pixel bounds of this. Right? Like, why is this not doing what I want it to be doing? Okay, so here we have left 0, right 270, top 49. Whoa. I mean, these are wrong, right? These have to be wrong. These have to be wrong. They seemed correct before. Which makes me think that this flipping shit that we did in the layout doesn't make any fucking sense. Why did I flip that? Why did we flip that shit? Oh, because the button. Oh, I was confused. Okay, we can just undo a lot of this stuff. So it's here that we need to do window calc height minus here. That's why. That's why. Because the coordinates here are top to bottom, not bottom to top. Okay. Okay, so that's good. I don't know why this stuff has gone away now. Oh, because we use bounds here again instead of window. Still not good, huh? What am I missing? Window left. Oh, is this XY? So our bottom should be the size of the window, right? Then we use. Oh. One of these should be a scissor. Oopsies. All right, there we go, baby. There we go. Our button is so back. Okay, so now what happens if we try to render this thing? Now we need to render our label with the bounds offset, right? So we should take the button padding here and kind of just shove it here. Maybe we'll call it button padding. Okay. And then here we should say that our bounds are like label bounds are our bounds yeah, label bounds dot left plus equals button padding. Same with right. Same with top. Same with bottom. And then we just do label, and then we no, because our bounds are already the full thing. So the top and the bottom and the right need to be subtracted. Then we label with the bounds here, and the window is the same window. And we actually need to do this stuff before we render the label. So now we should get the label rendered on top? Question mark? That's good. Except the padding, I can't tell if the padding is taking effect. I think that we made the padding way too fucking small. Can we make this like 50 instead of 5? Just like crank that shit? No, not good. Not good. It's confusing. That's quite confusing. Oh. We should be using the label bounds, not the button bounds. That's pretty good. Okay. And then here, I'm a little confused about why this isn't doing like I would think that the button should be like fucking mega big. Oh, because it's padding over 2. Here, that's why. That's why. That is why. There we go. Look at that. Look at that beautiful button. Look at that. Okay. Okay. Let's get rid of this color print. Okay. And then let's go back to our application has some rect colors. Let's make them button colors now. Uh-huh. And let's just make it so that when we click the button, the color changes. So here we'll just make it so that the change, I don't know what it's called. It's called like change color. Change color is equal to something. The index. Yeah. This goes for 0 to app button colors len. We make a button, we put it in the layout. The button says when you click me, change the color to this, and we will color the button with whatever color the app says that we want. Okay. Fuck. Oh, come on. Tell me that's not sick, man. We got a button we can click. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I mean, I guess we should probably have some like styling stuff. Right? So how do we want to handle this? Like we want to curve the corners, probably, right? What the fucking button look like? What's like a HTML button? Like, what does this thing look like? Okay. I mean, this is like not like the default style button, but this is a button. So they do when you hover it, it changes color so that you know that you're selecting it. And what is like I'm going to do? This has like a hover and a click. Hover, click. Hover, click. Okay? So that kind of makes me think that we should have like some sort of like button style, right? And we can like kind of like start like slapping shit in here. Corners, borders, state machine. I think we might not need a state machine yet. We'll see. It might come up later, but I think for now we can just kind of like look at the current state of the button, like from like input events. Okay, so we're gonna have like padding. Which I don't know. Let's just do everything at comp time for now. Fuck it. So padding is gonna be comp time, and what else are we gonna have? We're gonna have like hover color. We're gonna have the click color and the default color. Yeah. Okay. And so now this thing, instead of taking in a color, is going to take in a button style. Uh-huh. And I guess we just kind of like stash that shit, right? Like this. Okay. And so now we have like style. And then I guess we probably want to actually like apply some stuff here. So we're going to have like since the render call is separate from other stuff, we're going to have like some sort of like state, which you know, fine. We do have a state machine now. Hovered, none, hovered, clicked, right? And so then we have like, we're gonna have to set up some like click and hover callbacks. So our widget's gonna have to like define hover and click, which it does, which is pretty sick. Yeah, okay, so we have like click and hover now. Okay, and on here we're gonna be like, yeah, on hover, self hover is self state is equal to hover. And we're only gonna do that if the click state isn't set. If self state is not equal to click. Okay. Keyboard selection, i.e. border. Yeah, I guess that is a thing that we will have to support at some point, but maybe not yet. This is from any state, we go to clicked. Okay. And then here we depend on our state. So we say switch const color is equal to switch self state, right? And if we're in like state clicked, we return self style click color. Oh yeah, this is coming together. Hovered, we return our hover color. And then our default is our default color. Okay, then we reuse color here. Boom, 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 boom. Hell yeah. Okay. Then what? Then we also need to use the correct padding here. So padding comes from style padding. Okay, and then down here, this is self style padding here. Boom, 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 boom. And then I guess probably that means that this can't be a comp time int, to be honest. Something like that. Fuck. 789. Okay. So now we have like style is equal to a button style. And then we'll do like default color is the color. I don't want to. I guess I do. Can we like pick some more sane colors here? Like. Okay. What is like. Can we just like open a color picker? Like, let's. I don't know. Like, let's tell everything purple, I guess, and we'll have like. What was the convention like IamGUI was using? Fuck! I can't even check. We can just not build, I guess, though. That's a pretty good point. So it's dark. It's like kind of like dark, lighter, and then like saturateder. Dark, lighter, more saturated. So we can do like, we can do this for like the default, which is like, oh, can we fucking do this in 0.1? God damn it, dude. Like floating point, normalized. Red is like 100 of 255, which is like a lot like 1/3. Which is a lot like 0.3. And then green is like a lot like 0.2. 50 out of 255. That's about 1/5. That's 1/6, right? 50, 100. No, it's 1/5. And then blue is a lot like the same as red. This is where you would use design websites as inspiration. No, that's where you would use design websites as inspiration. No. What I would do is just be a fucking idiot. Okay? You can't stop me. I guess we will alternate between two colors, maybe. Maybe on click, we will change the text in it. Maybe we'll do that instead. Here's an OKLab generator on my website. What the fuck is a OKLab? Is this related? Dude, what a URL. You're just like asking for problems. What is this? It's a color space. All right, cool. Yeah, let's say like button text. Maybe we'll just actually just say bool. Yeah, let's just do that. And we'll just say it's on or off. Button state. So here will be like self button state equals not self button state. And this needs to be two bools, which means that here we need to have like at IDX. And then we'll hard code the button colors, which I just lost here. No, I didn't. Okay. So here we have like the default color, like this. Hover color was brighter. Okay. And then the clicked was like more saturated. Which means like this. So it just means like we take the green value down. I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. Padding, and we'll make the padding like 10. Okay, I don't fucking know, man. So then this is the style here. And then we'll say, if we're clicked, at IDX, we're gonna be like on, else off. Yeah. And then we put the label here. Fuck. Wrong thing here. And also, it doesn't compile. Button colors is wrong. 752. True. This should be button state is equal to true, false. Fuck. Button state. Fuck. 576. He's mad about U31, find U32. Is this U31 as well? Okay. Fine. U31's fine. I don't give a fuck. Missing field state 581 is like we just default this to none, I guess. Okay. Then we have no field name default. That's true. It is just called none. And then 610, he needs to return none. Whoa. Actually, wait, hold on. He just needs to return that thing. That's what we're trying to do. So return the click action, please. Button state here at 160. This also needs an IDX here. Okay. That's not bad. There's some weird label shit going on where the label at the top has like a white line on it. Also, the fact that the size of this thing isn't constant is probably a bit of a problem, right? That's kind of strange. We might want to size this thing relative to the width. And then use like an expected max height here. Yeah, that kind of feels more, but even then, like if the text inside the button changes, should the button resize? What do I expect to happen there? I don't know what I expect to happen. I guess I expect, like, if the text gets too long, to get larger. I mean, I guess this is kind of like why persistence would be kind of nice in some way, right? You could, if you had some form of persistence, just say, don't shrink, right? That would be kind of more reasonable. Or we could, in our button style, maybe, if we know the text will change, then maybe we set like a, we have like a min size here. We have like a min width, min height, and then like desired width and desired height or something. Like we could do this, right? Then when we like pick our size, we just like do whatever the fuck we feel like based off what's in here. Oh, yeah, it's not crazy. So for now, we'll just kind of hard code the width and height, I guess. Uh, if style desired width. I kind of don't like the idea that these are kind of saved unconditionally, right? We're saving the button style here. So I guess here we should actually just store like default color. We kind of have to store these things separately, right? Because some of these inputs are only going to be used on initialization, right? So we have to do like this, which is a little annoying, but I guess it kind of makes sense. I guess there's going to be a lot of just like state passing in this UI shit, almost certainly. If style desired width, else this. All right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That seems reasonable. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Fuck. Uh, width, height. Boom. Fuck. No field name style. Self.style. Yes, this is just remove the styles, bitches. Padding is kind of weird now because the padding now is, I guess, means like the padding actually needs to be calculated um from the width and the height, right? So we have like, I guess we don't use the padding here. We should be using the label width. So we say like self label get size, and then we have our size. And we should be positioning ourselves like centered in here, right? So we need to do like uh label size is this. And then we should be doing like label size width. Our padding is like label size width times 2 over our width? That doesn't sound right. So if we're like, this is like 20 out of 100, we want our padding to be 40 and 40, right? To kind of fill in the gap. So how does that work? 80 100 minus 20 over 2. Yeah, that's what it is. So we have our width minus the label width over 2. So this is the width pad. Height pad is this. And then we need to do like label bounds is equal to, yeah, bounds left plus equals width pad. Yeah. Right minus equals top is low value, so plus, and bottom is minus. This is height pad. Boom, boom, and then we use label bounds. Nice. Nice. Okay, so this is still working the way it was before, and then if now we say, give me on the button style, hit me with a desired width and a desired height. Fuck. Oh. So here we need to basically, if the desired height, it needs to be clamped to the label height plus padding. So here it's like width is, if we have a desired width, use width, right? Else we have like the what do we want to call it? Like the min width. Yeah. So the minimum width is this thing, right? We take the label width and the padding. Then we say, if we have this width, can we do like an and here? It's not really easy. If style desired width is not equal to null and self desired width is greater than min width, else min width. Yeah. It's like this. It's like this. Style desired width, like this. Okay. And this is supposed to say style. Okay, and then we have height is kind of going to be the same. Desired height, min height. And then width is equal width. And height is equal height. Wow. Crazy stuff. What's it pissed about? Missing comma. Fuck. Const here and here. All right. So now we've specified a desired width and height. Fuck. Oh, because they're too small. Right. So now we have to amp those things up. Let's get bigger and better. There we go. There's a problem where the click is only showing up for like one frame. If I hold the click down, it doesn't hold the value. So that's kind of weird because our like API kind of assumes that like if we click, then that means that we have to return our click action, right? That's kind of what that means. Also, it can't know that the action type is a none in it. That's something that it can't know. So we kind of need like set input state or something. We need something that like says like, hey, the mouse is already down, and that's different than a click. So I don't know if I think I don't want the widget to like own that. I don't want the widget to have like an API for each of those things. I think I kind of just want like one input state thing, which I think we have. We have a mouse position, and we can just throw like mouse down here, right? And we can just be like self mouse down is equal to true, right? And self mouse up is equal to true. Mouse down equal to false. And then on click here, I think that we actually don't want. I guess on mouse on click, you kind of want to keep it like it's clicked. Like the way that we do this right now is we do like if you hold down click here and then move the mouse off, I think you expect it to still show the clicked color. Right? Like that's kind of what you expect. Like I think if we show the I am GUI version. Fuck. No. I guess it's only if we're hovering over. So it's just it just considers the release event different. Okay, sure. So maybe we just don't care about a frame action of clicked anymore. That's quite likely. And then our click is just going to be on release. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay, so our widget, I think, is going to have some sort of function on it that's like, instead of, get rid of this hover shit, right? And instead we're just going to be like, set initial input, input state, set input state, yeah. Okay. That feels reasonable to me. And then this needs to take the input state. Like this. Set input state. And this is going to be an input state here. And this is just like, if we have a set input state function, which we might not, so this should be an optional, and here's the default to null. If we have a set input state function, then we call it. Simple. Set state. Het state. Set state, please. Okay. And then this is input state. Okay. So now our hover function is now. Do we call this kind of irrelevant, like whether or not we're in the bounds? I think that's reasonable, right? For now. For now, we'll kind of only do this if we're in this within the bounds, but I suspect that will change later. I suspect that'll change. But for now, it might be nice to rely on this. Or we could provide the bounds here. And yeah. I like that. Because then we can just on the pixel beatbox be like have like a hit test directly on it, and then that should kind of make everything else easier. Okay, yeah, that seems reasonable. So then on our button, we have like hover is now replaced with set input state. Our click now doesn't change the state. That's kind of covered by set input state, like this. This guy takes in bounds as a pixel bounding box, and then the input state as an input state seems reasonable. And then we just check like if bounds contains input state dot mouse pause. And what is mouse pause here? He's like a mouse pause, which is not really great. Can we change this into like a pixel position or something? I guess we'll just do like X and input state mouse pause Y. like this. Will be like, this returns a bool. And this is like x is greater than or equal to self left. And x is less than or equal to self right. And y is greater than or equal to self bottom. And y is less than or equal to self top. Nope, wrong way. Less than bottom and greater than top. Okay. Seems reasonable. So then we're like, if this is not contained, we just like eject the fuck out of here. Whoop. Otherwise, we say if input state inputs hello input state dot mouse down, we are self state clicked, else we're hovered. Seems reasonable to me. Fuck, it never works. 794. Mouse down should be false. Fuck. 631. We can just int from float here. It's fine. I don't know why it's a float to begin with, to be honest. Widget click is mad at 528. Why? The fuck is he complaining about? Oh, this... Oh, I see. We did just kind of change that. So if this thing has an action to return, red is equal action. There we go. That's what I was looking for. We're in a high fuck per minute. Yeah, true. True. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. No, it feels pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty sick, man. That feels like a real button. That feels pretty good. That's really not bad at all. No music. No music in the mainstream. Music's only in happy hour, but it's... Oh, and we didn't even... The title's not even wrong right now, so we're chilling. Hi, friends, how are we doing? But he spelled high, H-I-G-H, like he's... we're high. Oh, if we click off and then drag on, that behaves kind of shitty. Oh, so you're like, widget almost wants to like... You almost want to like have some state in the button that's like long lived about if you are like in the middle of a click on the button. That's kind of fucked, huh? That's kind of fucked. What are you, how are you, like, how are we supposed to manage that? Like, this is obviously stupid. Click, release, click, drag, release. That shouldn't happen. Which I mean, I guess means that the button needs some like interframe state. It just has to have it. It just has to have it. Right? So I guess, like, I suspect, I could be wrong, but I suspect that like immediate GUI frameworks solve this with like IDs, which I don't want to do. I kind of want to play with the idea of like doing a layout first. Right? I kind of like the idea of doing like, how do I say this? Like we could do like here before our main loop, like const, like var layout is a layout, right? Right? And then we could do something that's like, fuck, I guess we should do like valid syntax so that the fucking indentation doesn't like lose its shit. Right? So we can do something like this, right? And then here, before we get into our main loop, we could do like button is equal to like something, right? So like something like this, right? And we do like layout, add button, add widget. What the fuck? Push widget. But what we could do here is we could actually create this button one time off rip. And maybe like kind of store this thing somewhere else. So we kind of could like know that this is a button that we might want to interact with, right? And then we could be like down here in our loop, we could be like button. I guess what we could do, what we would do is we would store every widget that we care about its internal state, right? Anything that we might want to update, we might have like, you know, we might have like stuff buttons. We could call this like app state buttons, right? And he's gonna have like some list of 2 widgets. Maybe even like we get the concrete type here, right? We have like 2 buttons that we like create with this. Maybe it's like something like this, right? So then this is change color 0 and change color 1 is their actions. We have our style here, and then we push widget app state buttons 0 and 1 like afterwards, like kind of like this. I think that would work. And then we could be like apps. I guess we would probably need to do like into widget or something, or like as widget, right? Something like this. And then we would do something along the lines of like in the main loop, then we would be like app state buttons here. Instead of like creating the buttons, we'd be like app state buttons IDX set value, or like set like label. I guess we would just like regenerate the label, right? We would do something like this, on or off, right? And then I guess in this scenario, you would then have to flag that you want re-layout, probably. So maybe we would actually be more like update label, right? And then the button would flag to like the layout system that we need to do a reflow. That doesn't seem crazy. It's kind of, we would have to then define every action that would like create reflows, right? Things like changing the button. This would only create a reflow if the size of the button changed, right? So if you like pre-size the button, then it wouldn't. Or you would like maybe try not to change the size of the button. There's like a lot of things you could do there. But that would allow us to like hold some state in the button that would say whether or not somebody clicked on us but hasn't released yet. Which I think is useful for the case where you want to click on a button and drag off, right? That solves this problem where I click here, drag on, release. I am like almost certain that immediate mode GUIs are just doing some sort of inner frame tracking under the hood and hiding it from you, which I hate. I hate that. So I think the idea of laying out and then being able to update stuff makes a lot of sense. I guess it's like fucking 350 though. So there's no shot we're doing that now. So I guess we just call it there and we tackle that problem tomorrow. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah, I guess we could make the buttons a little more pretty. We could kind of try to tackle rounded edges now, but I think it's not worth it. I'm kind of okay with them not being rounded for a while. So yeah, we call it there. Thanks for watching, guys. That was 2 hours of button. Yeah, pretty good progress here. We definitely have covered a lot. It doesn't really feel like we did a lot. We drew a square and some text, and we could draw text yesterday. It's like, what the fuck did we do? But I think that we're getting closer and closer to like discovering what a good GUI framework needs to provide, which is exciting. So we call it there for today. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, we stream most days at around 12:30 Pacific time to 4 o'clock Pacific time. It is 3:50 now, so you should usually expect to see us between 3 hours ago and now-ish, 3 and a bit, you know? Sometimes we start early, sometimes we don't. Today we started at 12. If you're watching on YouTube, you might say, wait a second, that's too long. These VODs are only 2 hours long. That's because we do a segment we call Happy Hour, which is kind of like general cleanup of stuff or like things that don't deserve a YouTube video, right? So today we were working on refactoring the text layout stuff, trying to get it committed. We got pretty close. Look at this. this thing is content is pretty good to go. Just needs a few more words of the commit message. Wow. So if you want to see that stuff, you have to catch us live or check out the Patreon or YouTube member section. If you're watching live, there's a YouTube link in the Twitch description where you can see all of our previous projects organized into playlists. So right now we're working on a GUI framework, but there's a lot of other cool stuff in here if you want to check it out. There's a GitHub link in the Twitch description where code for this will eventually show up under the SFIMP repo. Our image manipulation program is also our GUI framework, is also our font renderer, so that will be up shortly. Otherwise, I think that's it. YouTube, peace out. Twitch, let's find someone to raid.